Hey guys, it's Kelly and Kathy, and we are here with Tech Savvy Realty Solutions. And today we have a special guest, Craig Lepage of the Lepage Johnson Realty Group, and he is going to talk to us all about getting started with a YouTube channel for real estate. So he's got some amazing tips that'll really help knock it off and basically set it up so that you can have a simple process. Somebody's got to start somewhere, right?
Right.
So, Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself. And before you do that, make sure you do like and subscribe to our channel, just so we can help teach other agents. And be sure to share this with your realty friends, because that's our focus, is to teach agents how to improve their technology within their business. So, Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you know about YouTube.
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, so happy to be here and be on the show. I'm Craig Lepage with Lepage Johnson Realty Group. I have a business partner, Shelly Johnson. We started our real estate team back in 2011, and it's been great since then. We've grown to about 26 agents now. We're located in the Charlotte, Lake Norman area. Lake Norman's just north of Charlotte, but we serve the entire Charlotte region. And been licensed since 2006, and I've always been really interested in marketing and lead generating and just kind of generating business through technology. It's been my love since the beginning. Back in the day when the web really started, I started generating leads by writing blogs and just kind of getting lost in my car and going and learning everything about the market. I would literally just go get lost, start driving, learn about different areas, different builders, different neighborhoods that were being built, and then kind of document that, take pictures with my digital camera, come back home, and I'd write a blog that night and put some pictures in it, attach a link, for people to search homes in that area. And I would be ranked on Google or Yahoo in the morning in first.
Wow.
It was so easy. It
Right.
was before all the search engine optimization and stuff like that. It was for the good old days. I would generate crazy amounts of leads. The conversion rate was great because not many people were doing it. But as technology evolved, video became huge. And YouTube was one of the ways to get get things out there, to kind of really paint a picture of what it was like to live in this area. And that's what I did with pictures first. And then I went to slideshows. And then once the video got a little bit better and the smartphone started to come out, before even the smartphones, we had a flip camera. I don't know if you remember those little USB put into your laptop, and we'd try to make videos, and they were horrible. That's one of the lessons that I'm going to talk about today. YouTube became more and more evolving. I didn't really use it the way it was supposed to be used. And we really just started doing that about, I'd say, a year and a half ago. So I was kind of like early to video, early to that process. But unfortunately, I feel like I was a little bit late to really using YouTube as a resource and as a technology the way it's supposed to be used. And of course, I can always get better. We can all get better. But that's kind of how I started the evolution, getting right to that YouTube process and really started generating leads and deals from YouTube.
And a side note to that, I'm on Craig's team. I wasn't always, I had my own team, and I would watch Craig and I'd say, man, this guy's a marketing machine. I want to do what he's doing, because I could see you were so ahead of the curve. And clearly your business kept growing and growing. Here I am pedaling like a little puppy dog trying to catch up. And eventually got on the team myself after my team disbanded. And man, it's been a pleasure, because you are ahead of the curve. So I think you're beating yourself up there about the YouTube, because it's pretty darn impressive.
Well, thank you. I think that's part of, we all know we're all driven people. And I think if you're happy and you're satisfied, that means you're not driving forward. So I think if you're unhappy, that means you're just scratching and clawing and trying to get better and trying to get more results. So I think it's good for all of us.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So talk to me a little bit about if I was a new agent and I wanted to kind of get some exposure because there is so much SEO or social, what is it? The SEO optimization basically, where you could pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have your name maybe at the top of Google. Where would you say for an either a new agent or a new agent to YouTube, where would you suggest they start?
Well, I think that's a great point that you make, Kelly, because Google is in real estate, it's almost impossible to get ranked near the top. I mean, and if you're not in the top 4 picks, then you're not even getting clicked on. So Google is really, really busy and really hard to get to that top. But Google is the top search engine. But Yahoo is owned by Google, and YouTube is owned by Google, and it is the second most popular search engine. So, and people are very visual. So that would be my answer to your question: is go to YouTube because it's a lot easier to get ranked, and you're not ranking the same way. You're not ranking. You're ranking with a search, but there's so many different searches that people search and so many different topics that if you're consistent, you can pop up much faster than you would in Google. And you could change one word or search it just a little bit of a different way and your video will show up.
Right.
So it's a lot easier to get ranked, and it's a lot easier to get views, and there's a lot less competition. Because if you think of all of the major players like, a Zillow or Realtor.com or Homes.com, these are like billion-dollar companies and publicly traded companies. They have endless amounts of money, so they're just pumping, money into that ad flow and ad spend in Google, and they're reproducing all the public data to get more pages, and that you can't compete with that on a single level or a small business. But what they don't do is they don't create authentic video. Right. And that's something that the human can do that a machine really can't do yet.
Yeah.
So if you go out and start creating video and create a YouTube channel, which is very easy, just
free.
It's free. Basically, just click the icon in the upper right-hand corner and just start your process. Put your email in, create a title, put your banner up, put your icon picture up, and just start. I think that's the best piece of advice that I've ever got, is to just go. It's going to be terrible. Yeah. Your first video, your second video, maybe your 10th video, it doesn't matter. But we've all started somewhere, whether it's sports or business or hobbies, and it's those repetitions that really, really make you good at something. So I think if you just get out there and do it, you'll become better within a week. And it's really funny to go back and look at your old videos and be like, oh my gosh, that was so horrible. What was I thinking, or what was I doing? Or and you'll see yourself progress. But if you don't start, you'll never get down the path, so to speak.
Right. You talked about just using your cell phone today as far as equipment, and I thought that was really true. Want to touch on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, that's another big point. We're really good at making excuses of why not to start something, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, I've got to get the equipment, and I've got to get the ring light, and I've got to, get tripods, and, I got to get a mic. And you don't have to get any of that. The phones that are out today, if you have a newer Galaxy or an iPhone, you're fine. I mean, the cameras, the number of pixels that they record in, the ability with the 2 and 3 cameras on there, deals with light and natural light and changing light so much better than a regular camera in a lot of cases. Not to say that it's going to beat a regular camera, a high profile camera in a professional setting. They're amazing. But if you're doing what you're doing just to kind of get your content going, if you watch any of the videos on our channel, they're all done with the phone. Yeah. And they're clear as day, and they adapt to light really well. And It's easy. I mean, I use basically a phone and a selfie stick sometimes just to get the phone away from me a little bit. And that's it. And that's how I got started. And people like authenticity as well. That's a big thing. You know, another hang up that people have is they're like, well, I've got to be polished and I've got to, you know, I can't, you know, stutter or mess up when I'm talking or screw up. You want it to be as good as you can go and have it be smooth and not distracting, but they like that you're human. They like that, you know, you're like them. They start to relate to you. They start to kind of learn who you are. And they feel like they know you. And that is a huge thing, because a lot of people they're like, yeah, should I reach out? I don't know who this person is or what they're about. Are they good at what they do? And I think once they watch you enough times, they start to feel like they know you and they get very comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like it builds trust too, you know, it's like, and the funny thing is, we always say is people, their first reason why they don't want to get on camera is because they're like, oh, I don't look good on camera, but the truth is it's what you look like. So
right.
if they see you in person, they're going to see you on video. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, get over it and move on. But the other cool thing that I think you all do is you can focus on different neighborhoods. You can focus on different businesses. You can even interview other people. But it really, if you are on camera, and I like the idea of the selfie stick just to give you a little space, because sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so close. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. See, it's perfect as things are always going on, happening. We'll just crop that out. But I think what's really great is finding simple videos to do. Don't overthink it, right? Like the content doesn't have to be some amazing content that you edit and have all these crazy things on. Although we have other videos on, you know, how to get a virtual assistant for cheap to help you edit your videos if you don't want to do the work or you don't know how to do the work. And you can do it really inexpensively. But truthfully is you could easily just go up and say, you know, I want to explore, like for our area, we have a really nice area called the Peninsula or the Point, and it's a beautiful neighborhood. It's, you know, tons of stunning homes on the water. I think you could just walk around there, talk about the cool things that they have, what the different businesses are, how close, how much walking distance it is, you know, or is it good for biking or families, you know, and just explore different communities to kind of get easy content. It's there's so much overthinking in it, and that I think holds people back.
100%. I mean, there's an endless amount of things you can talk about. What we focus on is Charlotte's a destination. So a lot, I mean, the joke is no one's from here.
Yeah.
So it's really about painting a picture of what it's like to live here on so many levels. And as a real estate agent, you know, the first thing that we think about is like homes. Like, all right, we're going to send them homes. If someone inquires, we're going to send them homes. But the truth is they can find homes anywhere. They could go on 10 different sites and they're going to find all the same homes. But they really don't know kind of what it's like to live in that neighborhood or that area or that city or how close it is. You know, what are the attractions in that area? I have a 17-year-old that's moving with me, and he's really upset that he's got to move and get away from all his friends. Like, what's life going to be like for him as well? What's going to be like for someone's husband or someone's wife? They're into golf or they're into boating, or, you know, are there meetup groups? Are there restaurants? Dogs. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. So you need to paint that picture. And what we've found is, you know, there's usually one person kind of leading the charge when there's a move, you know, so you're in touch with, you know, the wife or the husband, and they're asking their questions that they know and that they're interested in. And, you know, if we're good agents, we're going to ask questions about, you know, do you mind me asking, will you have any kids, or do you have any kids, or will they be moving with you? You know, roughly what ages they are. I'm just trying to ask this so that I can kind of be ready and kind of maybe send you some things that they might be interested in as well. And having video for all of that is so powerful. So that's one of the things that we do with our videos as well. We may create these tour videos for a certain area or a certain town or a certain city, but then we take that video and we break it apart. And we're like, all right, here's 5 attractions that were in that video. So we're going to make them into little videos about an attraction that was the U.S. Whitewater Center. That's a big attraction around here. So we pull that little, 4-minute snippet out of that video. We make it its own video. So that's added content. We'll take each neighborhood that we might have talked about in different price points and we make that its own video. So now we have all of these different things. If I get a call from someone that watched one of our videos and they're like, I like Mooresville up by Lake Norman, but you only showed, 2 or 3 different neighborhoods that were in our price point. Here's our price point. Do you have anything else that I might be interested in? Absolutely. We have several. We can send you all these separate videos. And then, we find out more about them and their family. We send some things about attractions or golf or water or whatever. Having that resource is good. And then being able to break apart those videos into other videos just creates more content for us. And
you've evolved into all that. And the little guy who's just starting out, that took years for you to evolve to. It doesn't matter though. Yeah. You can still do those things with your camera, with your tripod, and YouTube, the channel itself, it automatically lets you crop it and edit it, doesn't it, Kel? It's pretty ABC.
Yeah, you can do it in YouTube. You can do it in a lot of different, obviously there's other.
iMovie is another big one. If you have
iMovie. But let's say you're an agent and you like golf, like you said, you could just go target all the golf courses while you're playing on them. Maybe you play them and you say, hey, here's some of the beautiful homes that back up to this course.
Ooh.
And you just become the specialist in golf, or maybe you want to be the specialist in pickleball. I don't know. But you could start there and have that content and then people that are searching for golf courses in this area or whatever your area is, they will come up against your videos and then they'll, maybe they'll call you and be like, hey, this person, number one, likes the same things that I like. They like golf and they also are very familiar with the houses around that area. So I'm going to call them, so it just makes sense. You could just start with something that you actually enjoy, do videos on that while you're naturally doing it. And then, create the content and all the different playlists in YouTube and go from there. But it's a very simple stepping stone, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. I mean, you kind of go back to your original question about what would a beginner do. I would, Kelly, to your point, find stuff that you're interested in first. Yeah. That's the best stuff. Because then it's like, oh, I'll go shoot a round of golf and I'll take some shots and, maybe I'll take a little shot while my buddy's going and be like, hey, this is the Peninsula Club. This is a fairly flat course. It's waterfront in some areas. It shoots really wide, so it's a great course for less experienced agent or golfers.
Yeah.
There's golf course homes all along here that are beautiful. Price points are roughly this at the time of this video. The amenities here are amazing, and you can shoot 7 different videos while you're on each different hole that are 30 seconds long.
Right.
Shoot a couple B-roll shots of some nice B-rolls, just kind of filler shots. Mm-hmm. You might shoot, nice hole that's on the water or some nice homes. And you just kind of fill that in and you just drop all those, 30-second, 20-second clips with you talking along with some B-roll clips. And then you've got your video. It might be 4 minutes long. Great, done. Send it off.
And you made a great tip when you were presenting this the other day, was you on your phone, when you're out there and you're doing that, because you're doing it on your phone, you save it into a folder. Maybe the folder is called the Peninsula. Maybe the folder is called golf courses, so now you can go find them again, make life easier as well.
Yeah. So there's 2 ways you can do that. You can save it into an album. So if you're shooting stuff all over the place, great point. You have a Peninsula album. You're going to drop that into the album maybe at the end of your round and take all those clips and put it in that album so you know where to find them when you're creating a video someday. Or maybe a year from now you're like, hey, I'm talking about Cornelius where the Peninsula is and I need a couple clips of the Peninsula. You could just pull from that folder. Another way to do it is, especially if you have an Apple phone and an Apple computer, you can AirDrop right to the computer. And I put all my stuff in Google Drive. So I have a Google Drive and I have Cornelius or Huntersville or different towns. And then within those town folders, I have all of the attractions or neighborhoods or whatever it may be in those. So I have content for everything, and it's years and years of content. So I don't have to go out and reshoot a video every time I make a video because I have so much content that I've never used.
Yeah.
Another great point is to go out wherever you are, you always be thinking video.
Yeah.
So if you're like out to dinner and you're there's a place here called Birkdale Village, which is like a mixed use neighborhood with shops and green areas, and there's a stage in the middle and restaurants. And it's like a really nice setting, and it's a nice day or a nice evening. Always be thinking video. So you're like, hang on. My wife, I drive her crazy because I'm like, hang on. She's like, gets so embarrassed because I'm always like videoing.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me get a shot here. Let me get a shot here. But
that was important. You just showed that you need to be holding it like this.
Yeah. Hold it horizontal if you're going to shoot, for YouTube long form. And because we're so used to shooting vertical for a lot of the other platforms, but you have that content, and it's so easy to just pull from that and have that all the time. Another thing on that note, when you're shooting those little clips, if they're just little B-roll pans, I would recommend like 7 to 10 seconds. So go real slow, 7 to 10 seconds, because you're gonna chop the edge off, and you might edit it, and you might use a better part of the video. But a lot of times people will do like 3 to 5 seconds, and then you've got this little clip, just as your eyes are about to focus on it, it clips off, and it's not really good footage.
Yeah,
I learned that the hard way.
That's really good to know. I think I'm the 3 to 4 seconder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would go 7 to 10.
All right, good.
And I would go slower than you think you should, because I feel like
very good
point. A lot of people they think they're going slow, but it's not slow enough. And I know there's ways that you can edit it and make it slower, but for in the beginning, just go really slow, because you can always speed it up.
Oh,
100%. That's so true, because especially when you're filming in public, you feel like people are watching you.
You're rushing.
Like I gotta go quick, and you automatically go real quick, and then it's just not good footage.
Yeah. And honestly, because I think on YouTube, as you get more advanced, I think the shorts and, like you said, pulling out the smaller content, I would almost do horizontal and vertical, so you have video footage of both.
If you want to spend the time while you're in a certain place, do horizontal and vertical clips. Especially if you're talking, sometimes that gets a little crazy. Sure. But what you can do is just shoot a little bit further away from you, and shoot in the center, so they can actually crop you into that center piece.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of our shorts will do.
Okay.
But it is, if you can do the vertical also, it's a lot of work.
Okay, yeah. So maybe just do horizontal but farther away. That makes sense.
Yeah. And it really depends, like what you want to do. I mean, if you want to ultimately get into that shorts or that vertical format at a more consistent level, it would be a shame to lose all those opportunities. So if you have the time, I would do it. But
what would you say, in your opinion, for the beginner? Do you think people should focus on the shorts right now, or focus on the long? And is there like a time limit that you think's best to capture the most views?
So I've listened to a lot of people about YouTube, and everybody's got a different thought process. I like to start getting as long as you can create good quality. So you might start 5 minutes, 4 minutes by the time you put all your stuff together. But as you get better at it and you start to pick up the process, I would lengthen it, because the mindset of the YouTube algorithm is to kind of make it like on-demand TV. So you want to watch a program about what you're looking at, unless it's like a how-to video, because it's how-to for everything on YouTube. But if it's an informational thing about, I am moving to Charlotte, you want to watch something at length that is a fairly good pace to it and keeps you interested. And I think that's a good measuring stick. If you start watching your videos and they're not they start kind of getting blah blah and they're not really interesting, I think you need to shorten it. And that's one of the reasons, if you watch our videos, I'll talk, but I go right to clips once I start talking. Whereas a lot of other people will stand there or sit there like I am now, and they'll just talk into the camera for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And they might have like a clip here, and then 30 seconds later, a clip there. To me, I don't want to see a talking head. I want to see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. And I think that's one of the reasons people like our videos over other videos, because there's so much content in them to watch. They're so informational. But on the other hand, that creates a lot more work. They might spit out 3 videos to my one because, and that hurts the algorithm. They might actually wind up getting ranked a little bit better because they're more consistent and they're putting out more videos. So, but I'm not willing to sacrifice that yet. And that's my statement.
Let's talk about how often they should post, and just consistency being a key word. At least once a week, don't you think? If not,
consistency is the key to YouTube. I think that's the #1 metric in YouTube, in my opinion, in their algorithm. So consistency, but don't overshoot what you're unable to do, because you'll if you do 1 a week and then you skip a week and then you go back to a week and then you got 2 weeks off, it just totally messes with everything. And I've done that because I've been so busy with our business. It's really hard for me to do that. So I personally, if you're starting out, I would start slow and then try to increase. Maybe backload a couple so that you can always save one. So that if you have to, you get sick or you got to go away, you can play that one in that spot or release it. But I would even, shoot for once a month if you are really, really starting and you're not worried about algorithm, because you're not going to get anywhere anyhow at that point.
Right.
Get your first one out, shoot to get your second one out. And if you feel you can go to one every other week, then increase it. And then ultimately, if you can get to that weekly, that's when you're really going to catch the algorithm. And I can tell you from experience, I was really rolling in that. I've been doing this about 1.5 years. In the first year, by the end of the year, I started really cooking, and my videos were getting about 1,000 to 1,200 views a month. I had one do 57,000 views in like 4 months. Just went viral for some random reason. But as soon as I kind of broke up and it's turned winter and I didn't have the content because I didn't save content, I didn't have enough content to create good stuff. So I started taking more time off and I got busier with other stuff. Everything dropped off. Even those videos that were consistently getting 1,000 a month started getting 7, then 6, then 500 a month. And now I'm kind of back to the point where I'm trying to get that consistency back up, and I'm still only doing about 500 to 700 views a month, whereas I was easily getting 1,000.
So we're gonna because of the consistency.
So it's consistency really hurt that.
One of the things that we're going to start kind of implementing on our channel is a live video instead of just the recorded one, so that people can actually chime in and ask questions throughout our interviews or whatever we're discussing. How do you feel like live does for YouTube?
I would think, just from technology and social media and data media platforms, I would think that would be a good metric for their algorithm. I think that would pop you up. Because they want engagement.
Sure. And then, so just to kind of go back to easy content, if you're somewhere cool and you're doing something that you love, let's say you're at the Whitewater Center, just go live really quick on YouTube. There's your content for that day, and you can repost it down the road. We also have another video that we just went live on for Taja.ai, which is a really cool program. You just take the link from YouTube once you upload your video, and it'll write your description. It'll give you the best keywords. It'll even come up and generate shorts for you out of that actual video. Yeah, super cheap. It's like $30 a month. and it's amazing. It saves so much time, and it syncs right back to the YouTube. So I'll be sure to link that in this description as well. But yeah, I think that, like we said before, keep it simple. If you're at somewhere cool and you want to talk about it, just jump on, go live, interview the people that you're with. What do you love about this place? Obviously keep it clean because it's a business, but I'm sure you can make some easy content that way. And I think, like you said, with the live and having people jump on and say, hey, tell me more about that, or I want to learn, maybe you'll capture some more people that way and get you comfortable behind the,
Yeah, I think that the platforms, when you go live, it tends to suck an audience in that you may not have had before, that might keep like subscribe to your channel and like your content where they may have never found it before.
Right.
You can also take that live clip later and download it, and then take some other B-roll and put it around it and make it into a whole new video. Or just pull the sound of you talking off of it and put a bunch of B-roll on it. And you just so many different ways you can repurpose.
Generate the shorts out of it. It's great. I mean, I know for the beginner people for YouTube, we're probably talking a foreign language right now, but it's pretty simple once you get into it. And there's plenty of videos that we have talking about how to make it as easy as possible, because that's really what we're looking for on this channel, is to help agents who are not familiar with technology to get familiar and to get comfortable and to not be scared of it, to truly embrace it. And so yeah, we appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you want to share with the
I would say just the bottom line, kind of like what you just said, just start, just do it. Just set up your channel, keep it basic. It doesn't have to be perfect. People probably aren't going to visit it right away. It doesn't matter if you have one video on there, because the majority of people are not visiting your channel to watch your video. It's either showing up in a feed or they're seeing it somewhere else. It's linked to a newsletter or a website, or it's in LinkedIn or Facebook or other different ways to get your video out there to begin with. And then as you build your channel, you'll get better and you'll get more of an audience.
Yeah. Thanks,
you almost
Craig.
don't want the audience in the beginning, because then they'll see all the bad videos.
Well, you could always get rid of them, but I would keep them, because you just stack them on. And I find that people, even if they watch it and it is bad, they kind of feel for you, and they're like, you know what, I wouldn't be able to do that. Of course, there's going to be some haters out there, so get ready for that. But they got other issues. So
it's authentic and it builds trust. I love it. So thank you again, Craig. We appreciate your time today. And be sure, like we said before, like and subscribe, and we'll tag a bunch of the good videos to get more information about that Taja AI program. And look forward to seeing y'all back here soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Craig.
Take care. Bye. Thank you.